Those About to Die is a new Peacock series from director Roland Emmerich. So today, let's see if the series is worth your time. Hey everybody, my name's Justin here. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services like Peacock. If you guys are like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up-and-coming content. Those About to Die is an epic drama set in the corrupt world of the spectacle-driven gladiator competition, exploring a side of ancient Rome never told before. The dirty business of entertaining the masses, giving the mob what they want the most, blood and sport. Those About to Die is a 10-episode series on Peacock, and half of the series is directed by Roland Emmerich, making his television debut, and this seems about right for Roland Emmerich, as it is a series about gladiator games. You have chariot races and a lot of blood and action within here. What's so captivating about the series is that the series does dive deep into how these games are put together, and a lot of corruption, greed, betting, backstabbing to really just fuel these characters. And you don't only get these games, you also get the preparation going into it, getting the gladiators to get on board with it all and trying to entertain the masses. But you also have a story between two brothers that adds for a lot of the intensity in here. We have Anthony Hopkins in here, who plays Emperor Vespasian, and his two sons, Domitian and Titus, played by Jojo Macari and Tom Hughes. Titus is the oldest son and the heir, and Domitian will try anything to sit on the imperial throne. So there is a lot of back and forth between these characters as we see that relationship between these two brothers go head on throughout the series and what they will do to overpower the other brother. It isn't a very warm relationship between the two, and that's where the series really looks at the corruption and greed of characters within the series and how they will try to manipulate these games. It seems very relevant to today's society with games and how people throw games, and there's betting on them as well. And there's a lot of corruption that goes into it all. Over half of the series is a lot of dialogue between characters, a lot of backstabbing between people, and preparation going into it all. It's a very heavy dialogue series, but when you get to the end, like the last 15 minutes or so of each episode, that's where we had that payoff of all of the games. And it is very bloody. There is a lot of graphic moments, which I found to be very surprising. And visually, it is pretty stunning. You could tell that there is some green screen usage within here. But for the most part, the games, you can feel the grand moments in here. The spectacles are amazing and the games are very intense. So there is a lot of build up to these games, and it does pay off at the end. A lot of these intense games, and throughout the course of these 10 episodes, they try to evolve these games and make them bigger. And that's really interesting as well, as you see the development of the game and how more and more people are getting involved with it. And there's a lot more betting and a lot more corruption going on, so they have to up the stakes every single time. But a lot of the minor characters become a bigger part in the story as it progresses throughout. Like Kwame, who eventually does go into the gladiator matches. With him being in the gladiator matches, there is a purpose for him being there. So with having some characters in there that have a lot to risk and a lot to earn as well, fuels these characters, and you see the intensity rise within these games as they have to fight for their lives and fight for their family as well. And so Kwame becomes a very interesting character throughout these episodes, as the way that he is introduced to the very last episode, you see these characters progress and more stuff is piling on them, and their storyline becomes more personal and emotional for them. Acting is really good in here from Jojo Macari and Tom Hughes. You see that the relationship does develop throughout, but there's a lot of distrust between the two, a lot of power moves, a lot of manipulation and corruption going on between these characters, and the acting is very intense from a lot of these characters as they try to get more involved with the games. At times, the series does feel a bit long with each episode. Each episode runs about an hour long, and there is 10 episodes. About 45-ish minutes of each episode is dedicated to dialogue between the characters and development and setting the games and preparing for each grand event. And then you get a lot of thrilling moments at the end. I think some episodes really could have been shortened to really get to the point, as a lot of scenes do feel drawn out between some minor characters. I understand trying to build the purpose for some characters and some storylines as well, but a lot of it does feel very dragged out. You just want to get to the big payoff at the end of each episode. But Those About to Die is an interesting look at these gladiator games and how each game has been set forth, but also looking at the betting and corruption and greed that goes in with it, and how it feels very relevant to, and how it feels like today's society with a lot of betting for games, major sports, baseball, basketball, football. They promote betting on television. And although Roland Emmerich didn't direct every single episode, the tone managed to be the same consistently throughout. If it was brutal or action-packed, or if it was those heavy dialogue-driven moments, you felt a lot of the intensity throughout the show with different directors. So before I give you my score for Those About to Die on Peacock, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie-related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. I'm going to go ahead and give Those About to Die a B+. Thank you guys for checking out my review for Those About to Die on Peacock. Have you guys seen it by chance? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up-and-coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.